Hi, this is Brian with the lab at Precision Toolworks, North America's gauge repair and rebuild specialists. Here we have an outside caliper gauge. The same principles will apply to the inside caliper gauge. This is all about setting nominal. We have to remember this is a comparator gauge, not an inline measuring instrument. Remember, this runs on an arc and can't possibly produce a 1-inch gauge block at a 1-inch measurement. It's not its intention. So right now you can see our dial face is set to 0 within reason. And we're going to take a measurement of a 1-inch gauge block. And we're going to do a wiggle to see what we're getting here. And as you can see, it's telling us that 1 inch is in fact 93 thousandths of an inch. That is because it runs on an arc. It doesn't run linearly. So the proper way to use this instrument. We have 3 gauge blocks here, a 100 thou, a 105 thou, and a 110 thou gauge block. I'm going to go up before I measure 10,000 parts that the production has been machining, and we're going to set 0 with our nominal value. The value, for instance, for this application is going to be 105 thou. We look at our dial face, and that should be reading 0. We know the feature on our part is going to be 105 thousandths of an inch, so we have now set 105 thousandths of an inch to be our 0, aka our nominal value. Now when we go ahead and measure 10,000 components, we'll be able to tell whether our measurements of that feature are above or below. And I will give you an example. We're going to go ahead and test the 100 thou gauge block and the 110 thou gauge block. That's a tolerance of plus or minus 5 thousandths of an inch. We are now looking at the dial reading of the 100 thou gauge block. And you can see we are reading a tolerant, we're reading minus 5 thousandths of an inch from 0. That means the components we're manufacturing are 5 thou undersized. We would want to make an adjustment. Similarly, we are now measuring the 110 thou gauge block, and you can see our dial reading is 5 thou over the 0 point. And that is the proper idea behind a dial comparator gauge. Thanks for watching. Remember, this runs on an arc, not linearly.